Everyone, so today we're going to look at why EMDR therapy is the most effective treatment for trauma. So, EMDR therapy is recognized by the NICE guidelines for trauma in treating anxiety, depression, OCD, PTSD, and other conditions. CBT helps us to be able to look at our thoughts, feelings, behavior, and their physiological effects. And it's really good for treating certain conditions. And the same as talking therapy. But EMDR is completely different. So when we have trauma and we're suffering with anxiety and depression in the here and now, but it's related to past memories, this is where we can get our physiological symptoms in the present and changes our emotions to how we're feeling. So we become feeling okay, and then we get triggered by something that's related to past experiences. Say, like when you're younger, you experience lots of confrontational when family environments, and you're in a relationship or a situation in present day where there's confrontation. It can change your mood, can give you certain feelings and emotions. You might experience sadness, fear, anger, and you also experience this physiologically. So within your body, you might get an increased heart rate, you might get sweaty palms, you might notice your stomach turning, feeling anxious. So this is where we say that there's trauma and it's stored in our body. So the part of the brain, the amygdala, is our emotional brain, and this is where we're getting triggered from via our senses. So what was happening in the past at the time? So say if like noises, so we can then respond to certain tones in people's voice. So it can be environments, so whether it's sound, sight, smell, touch, this is where we can be getting triggered in the present. So there's a connection to present day to the past. We necessarily might not make those connections, but like I said, if you experience confrontational, so then if someone's confrontational now, whether it is someone too close to you or in your face, or is it their tone of their voice, their body language, we will pick up on this via our senses, and then it can take us in this fear-like state in the here and now. So EMDR therapy targets and look at what events in your life from when you were born to present day do you not feel at peace with. So when you think about certain memories, incidents, events, or people, you might have a response. So we set up and we look at what is causing you to feel how you feel today. So we work out together and do a timeline of events and memories where there's any disturbance or where you're not feeling at peace, like I mentioned. So what happens when we process events in EMDR therapy? We use bilateral stimulants. I use a light bar, and I also have tappers for people to hold, and they'd buzz, and the light bar move back and forth. Some people use their fingers. I use a light bar, so back and forth. They're called bilateral stimulants. And what that does, it connects the two parts of the brain. So the amygdala, the emotional brain, the hippocampus, where we've already got most of the information you need to resolve the problem, but the two aren't connecting. So once we do the bilateral stimulants, it files all the old distressing material. So whether it's images, thoughts, body sensations, and emotions connected to that past incident, so you do some re-experiencing, but equally it files the disturbance. So then you can recall the memory, you can think about it today, and you can be neutral. So there's nothing in your body, you can hold the memory, there's no thoughts around that, the image isn't disturbing, and you feel okay emotionally. That's when we look at and we say with the EMDR therapy, you're then neutral about that memory. And then we move on down the timeline to process other memories or incidences or people and situations that then bother you in the here and now. So once we do the past, so EMDR is about past, present, and future, we'll look at, okay, so are you still getting triggered and impacted by anything in the here and now? And then we can set up those, like their memories Although they're not memories, you're getting triggered, we do what's your most exaggerated worry. So we set that up as a target in process. So this is why EMDR therapy is the most effective treatment for trauma, anxiety and depression, OCD and phobias, because it's stored in the amygdala, the emotional brain, and getting triggered over and again. When we're in talking therapy and CBT, we can talk about these events for maybe weeks, months, or years and necessarily not notice any different to when we did at the start of therapy. Because what happens when we're talking about those things and we're recalling these memories and incidences, what happens? It's bringing them up in our nervous system even more, and it's activating us to feel this physiologically and emotionally. So sometimes talking therapy can make us feel worse. For some people it works, but it really all depends on the instance or situation and if there's trauma. So I'd really encourage you, if you haven't tried, when you've been in talking therapy and you've tried CBT and other therapies in the past, to try EMDR therapy, because it's the most fast and effective treatment and recommended by the NICE guidelines. So let me know what you think about this video. If you've got any questions, pop in the comments below or email me, send me any messages, and I'm more than happy to help. And check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.